If you were to tell Gill Quizon back in 2014 that one day he'd step on stage as a bodybuilding competitor, he'd be the first to tell you to keep dreaming. That was back when Quizon walked around at over 300 pounds as a senior in high school. In Gill's reality now, the 22-year-old is getting ready to step on stage at the 2019 NPC Guam National Bodybuilding Championships this weekend, coming full circle in an inspiring story about one's will to change.
Yeah, so I think it all started when I was a kid, basically. So when I was like young, I grew up with food around me, basically. I studied in the Philippines, and studying in the Philippines, I was actually like eating everything there, like I love the food in the Philippines. And that's part of my tradition. And growing up, I had these habits, and these habits, led to me eating a lot more. And then plus on top of that, I wasn't really physically active. And when I was physically active, I was still eating too much for my body to even handle. And by the moment I reached my senior year, I was 310 pounds.
Quizon went through the negative cliches of being overweight, like being made fun of in school. He was always carrying more weight than his peers at every grade level, and their jokes helped in no way, as Quizon resorted to comfort eating instead of trying to get healthier.
I was teased by my peers. That's the story of a lot of people who are overweight. They get teased all the time, and people did tell me to lose weight, but I didn't really get that motivating factor from them. I thought I got this within myself because of like the stress and the depression that was on being that overweight. Really made me think and reflect to myself, man, I think this is the time I have to make a change. And usually the people who were teasing me and stuff like that were a factor, but it just made everything worse. I got teased every day. I didn't feel good about myself. The way I dealt with it, I stress eat, and stress eating led to me gaining more weight in the future.
Gill took a long, hard look at himself in the mirror and decided it was time to make a change. Cue Michael Jackson's Man in the Mirror, and from that day on, a different person with a different mindset was the only thing Quizon was willing to chew on.
For me, that time was probably one of the most eye-openings, like 310 pounds. The day was January 3, 2015. I looked at myself in the mirror and I was like, is this who I really want to be? Is this where I want to see myself in the future? Because if I don't make a change now, I don't know when I'm going to make it. And I tried dieting many times before, and right now, that day was the moment I gave myself that pressure to be like, you know what? This is going to be the last time I do it. I failed 5 times, it's gonna be the 6th time, and if I failed this time, I'm never gonna do it again. But if I don't do it the 6th time, then I'm always gonna stay the same. And then after that, since then I lost the weight, I grinded hard. That same exact day, I ran my very first mile at 300 pounds. It was insane. And then after that, until now, I'm finally, doing this as a lifestyle, and I'm finally stepping on my very first bodybuilding show.
Quizon started to see changes in his physical appearance in just 6 months and shaved off more than a third of his 300-pound frame within a year's span.
Towards the end, I started getting into fasting, and I did lose a lot of weight. And after I lost 100 pounds, I realized, yes, I reached my end goal and I have my end prize. Yes, no more, 300-pound Gill, but I wouldn't say I was satisfied with the physique that I had. And from then on, I actually started going to the gym, because back then I was just doing cardio. I was just doing plain cardio all day, and I ran 3 miles every day. I fasted, and then by 6 months later, then I decided to go to the gym and actually start building muscle, and that's when I started falling in love with my physique.
The desire to be healthier was already taking shape, but Quizon was starting to fall in love with challenging himself, and he had his sights set on the next hurdle.
When I first got into the gym, I lost 100 pounds, like I said already, right? And I was like, I felt so confident. I was like, man, I lost the weight already. And the moment I stepped in the gym, I saw the very first bodybuilder, like an actual bodybuilder who lives the lifestyle. Saw him in the locker room. He was shredded, lean. He was preparing for a show. And that moment was like, what? I didn't know the body can look like that. And from then on, that sparked that fire inside of me. Like, I want to look like that. So I went to YouTube. I saw a lot of bodybuilding shows, and I was like, wow, these guys actually showcase their hard work and their physique. And for me, that's something I really admired. at the time. So from then on, that was like the main goal that I was always chasing.
After just 3 months of lifting weights and seeing results, Quizon wanted to jump on stage and compete. It's been a goal since 2015, and it took him 4 years to build the foundation for what he felt would be ready for the show floor.
It took me 4 years to do it, just because, being 300 pounds, I did have excess skin, so it was very hard for me to see a lot of muscle definition at the time. And by the time I reached, the year of 2019, I was actually even this year, I was planning like, I don't think I'm gonna do the show yet. I'm not ready. I was planning to move it to next year, but then I thought to myself, I actually put in a decent amount of work in, and I feel like I was ready. So I decided at that time, I was like, you know what, 2019 is gonna be the year. I'm gonna do my very first show, and this is something I've been chasing, so I'm gonna start at the beginning of the year 2019, start very early, and start preparing from there.
Even after losing all his weight, building muscle, and being in the best shape of his life, Gill still carries around a little bit of excess skin due to the repercussions of being as big as he was. And even though he knows it'll count against him in the competition, Quizon isn't ashamed, as it serves as a constant reminder of just how far he's come.
Well, for me, I want to step on stage even with, with like my excess skin and stuff like that, even with the, with a disadvantage. One of my coach told me right now, shout out to Greg Monk, and he told me, like, hey, your excess skin is going to play a role when you get up stage, and you're going to go up against guys who doesn't have that, and it's a handicap. And for me, like, it's still so important to step on stage, just because this is my way of dealing with my fears, dealing with my obstacles, and still chasing my dream of just competing. And I want to really push that out there, saying, hey, whatever it is in life, whatever pillar you're in, whether it's art, business, whatever it is, I feel like whatever obstacle it is, I want to inspire I want to inspire people, even just that one person, to really just get out their comfort zone and chase whatever goal that they have in mind. And that's why it's so important to me to step on stage, because that's like my main motivating factor, is that if I step on stage and showing my physique and my story and sharing my story to the people and to the audience, I'll at least touch one person's heart to at least do whatever they want to do in life, and whatever aspirations that they have, they'll go ahead and chase it.
And although he's been working tirelessly to be physically ready for the show, he's still unsure of just how much an emotional toll it's going to take out of him.
Man, honestly, stepping on stage that day, I really don't know what to expect. I know I'm excited for it. I know it's so close. Like, I've been wanting this for like 4 years, such a long time already, and it didn't really hit me yet. Like, I'm actually freaking stepping up on stage, and to be honest, I don't know what kind of emotion I'm gonna feel when I'm up there. I don't know if I'm gonna be sad. I'm an emotional guy, so probably I might, shed a tear in there, but I'm just very excited just to really step on that stage right now. In terms of handling it, I'm pretty sure I'm gonna handle the emotions pretty well when I'm up there, but at the end of the day, I'm just like, I don't know what to expect, but hey, I'm looking forward to it.
And on the fun side, Gill will be stepping on stage with fellow Health City partner Joel Tudela, as they're entering the same division this year. It'll be a friendly competition, but a competition nonetheless.
Yo, I think it's gonna be the most exciting ever. I'm excited to see Joe, like, step on stage with me. We're gonna be next to each other, sharing the same stage. But of course, it's a competition, so we're going against each other. So I'm gonna tell Joe probably right before we step on stage, Joe, I really love you. We have this bond, this relationship here at Hell City, but we're gonna put that to the side when we step on stage. You know what I mean? But no, all love to Joe. I'm excited to see him. I think he has one of the best physiques. I think he might really take top 3 in this coming class, in this coming show. And I'm honored and I'm grateful that I have the opportunity to even step up stage with him. And we both worked very hard to step on stage together, and I've seen him day in, day out. He's tired, he's running the business, still accommodating my schedule, and really still taking care of me. And that's something I'm very grateful for. And the fact that he's still stepping up on stage motivates me. And I'm glad that we're gonna be sharing the same stage together, and whatever happens on stage, I'm excited for it, and I wish the best for both of us.
Quizon has committed to this lifestyle change so much that he's even ready for the rebound phase that many bodybuilders deal with post-show.
I think this is the most crucial part of any diet. Like, after you're dieting, I think this is where it's so important, because even me, I have a hard time with it myself. I'm a fat boy by heart. Seriously, I love eating. And after dieting for so long and dieting super hard and very strict, you're really limiting all the food and you're very deprived. And for me, one of my struggles is actually the rebound after the show. So one of my plans is actually, I'm still gonna enjoy it, have like a day, just go out and eat food that I want. But I think the real diet starts after you're done dieting, meaning that to sustain the physique that you worked for is gonna be the hardest part. So my plans is to really mainly still eat clean, maintain my diet, and just mainly focus on actually having a balance between the foods that I want and the foods that I need to eat to maintain a healthy lifestyle. And for me, I think that's what everybody messes up on. And I see it all the time. I watched it for 3 years. Everybody messes up the post rebound, and I don't blame them. I messed it up myself too when I used to diet on my own before. After dieting for like 6 months, and then I rebound like 20-30 pounds. It's not great, but that's now one of the things I learned, was to actually still eat the same food during the season that I'm not competing, so I can maintain basically my physique.
Gill is ready for his debut this weekend at the Bodybuilding Championships, and win or lose at the show, Quizon has already accomplished the biggest victory: a new lease on a healthier life.